The coalition agreement between New Zealand First and the National Party commits to the establishment of a fuel security plan to safeguard transport, logistics and emergency services from any domestic or international disruption. The government is moving quickly to establish such plan, with a study into NZ fuel requirements planned to begin this later, including an investigation into the re-establishment of the Marsden Point refinery, shamefully closed down. Kiwis should be free of reliance on fossil fuels in the near future. That stuff, however, belongs in an Enid Blyton storybook. New Zealand will continue to need gas to keep our economy functioning. Sadly, from time to time, Indonesian coal will be relied upon to keep the lights on. This is a stark reminder to the people who sit under a rock, not appreciating the genuine complexity of energy resilience.
Mr. Speaker, supplementary.
Andy Foster.
What recent causes of fuel insecurity in New Zealand is the Minister aware of?
I am aware that despite the willingness of the executive and directors of the Marsden Point refinery to seek an accommodation with the last government watched the demise and death of the Marsden Point oil refinery. An awful blow to Northland and a wicked act undermining the resilience of New Zealand. But not only has it put fuel security at risk and endangered CO2 supplies for beer and food, it was also, we should remember, the majority producer of jet fuel. In fact, all shipping fuel and more than half of our diesel came a lot more confidently and reliably to New Zealand as a consequence of that refinery, and the people who closed it down thought that they were doing the right thing via climate change. They have worsened the resilience of our nation.
Mr. Speaker, supplementary. As a result of that closure, what actions is the Minister taking to review the opportunities that there are around Marsden Point?
Mr. Speaker, as I have said, we are investigating the re-establishment of Marsden Point refinery. Sadly, we are left to gather the results of an awful decision made over the last 2 years. And it's driven, sir, by a mixture of wokeism, a mixture of naivety, and an unwillingness to accept without gas, without fuel, the nation will collapse. With New Zealand First in charge of such an initiative, our resilience will prosper.
Supplementary question, right on Winston Peters.
How long, without pipeline supply, and in the event of a tanker disruption, how long will this country be in terms of days before we reach an absolute and total crisis?
Shane Jones.
I am advised that it's between 17 and 21 days. The situation is grossly worsened by the closure of our refinery, reflective of the shallow thinking behind that decision maker.